to the Dennis Learning Center YouTube channel. My name is Taylor and I'm an academic coach here at the Dennis Learning Center, or as we like to call it, the DLC. Today, I'm going to be taking you through the first of a three-part video series about adjusting to online learning. Today's video will cover how you should prepare for your online lectures. The next video will cover how you can stay engaged, and the last will talk about how to review and how you can get the most out of the time that you're spending on your online lectures. Thanks so much for watching and enjoy the rest of the video. Let's talk about the three things that you should be preparing before your online lectures. The first is yourself, the second is your space, and the last is your notes. So as I'm sitting here at my desk getting ready for my first lecture of the day, I'm going to make sure that I'm familiar with all the platforms that I need to be familiar with. I think I'm pretty good with PowerPoint, so I'm not going to go through that. If you're new to Carmen Zoom, the Dennis Learning Center has already created a YouTube video just for you. So if you haven't seen that video and you think you may need some help with Zoom, go check it out. I'll link it in the description and it'll also be at this link here below. Make sure that you clarify with your professor beforehand whether or not you're going to be allowed to record and how they prefer that you ask questions. There's a chat function on Carmen Zoom, so that may be the best mechanism, but it also might be better, or they may prefer that you go ahead and just send any questions that you have over email. Secondly, when you're preparing yourself, you should be preparing yourself for receiving new knowledge. That means that making sure that you're a little bit familiar with the lecture that you had prior to this day and that you've done all of the pre-reading. That's important. If you didn't do the pre-reading before when you were in in-person lectures, no judgment here, but reminder that this is a new environment. You're gonna wanna make sure that you're doing everything you can to get all the information necessary, because just as you're adjusting to the new online lecture format, so are your professors. That means that they may not be giving you all the content that they want you to acquire during their actual lecture. So you're gonna wanna make sure that you do all the reading that you can in advance to cover any gaps in your knowledge. So now that you yourself are prepped, you can start to prep your notes or your space, whatever order works for you. I'm gonna go ahead and do my notes first because that makes the most sense to me. When I'm prepping my notes, I always wanna try to do two main things, and we recommend that you do the same. First, download and skim the slides in advance if they're available, and second, set up your notes beforehand. That way, when you're in lecture itself, you're not stressing about getting the structure right, you're simply trying to get all the content down that you can in that time. And finally, now that everything else is prepped, you can start to prep your space. For me, that's gonna mean putting distractions away, closing my bedroom door since I'm working from home. If you're at home, let your family know that you'll need to be very focused for the next 55 minutes to an hour and 20 minutes. That way, they're less likely to distract you during your lectures and you can focus on the content. If you can't get relative silence in your actual lecture and your lecture is live, make sure to mute yourself because you don't want to be creating distractions for other people in your class as well. That's just an additional tip. Okay, so now that you've prepped yourself, your notes, and your space, you are ready to go to do your best at-home online learning. I hope this video was helpful, and if it was, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe for more DLC content. Remember, later this week, we'll be covering how to stay engaged in lecture and how to review. Don't forget to comment down below and tell us what other content that you'd like to see on this channel. We're here to support you. Thanks so much, and we'll see you next week.